Hello.
Hey guys, how are you doing?
Hi. I'm good. I'm grateful. How are
I'm
you?
doing good, absolutely fine. Just came back from a startup session, so I went for a local food festival in our town, and they did a
Mhm.
very good work with local homemakers, local chefs, and there was a competition. So I was a jury member over there, and I was just checking their food, and selected three of them as first, second, and third.
Yeah, I have checked your post about that healthy salad. Actually, you made me hungry, but it's okay. You have to go live. Very nice, very nice. So let's say our regards to our viewers. Hello, everyone. As usual, I Gezel from Kuala Lumpur and Arjit from India. We are here for you. We are going to talk about something very, very interesting, which is about how to raise your fund if you're into a media content company and what you're missing. So tonight I have a few questions from you, Arjit. Do you think we have to start now?
Yeah, sure,
Oh,
of
we are gonna
course.
have good, great. As you know, I'm into this social media content, and the question I have from you, the first question is. You yourself, are you looking for raising fund in movie or any company who is into movie industry or no? And how is it?
I didn't get the question. Like, I'm looking for raising fund for movie content company, or how movie content companies
Yes,
are.
yes, yes. Yeah, yeah. Are you looking for raising fund for the movie or the company which produce movie?
Yeah, so there are two different kind of aspect, guys. If you are willing to raise fund for a movie, and if you are willing to raise fund for a movie making company. So when we talk about raising fund for a movie, that means you are only raising fund to create one movie, which is a content. And then once the movie becomes a little bit of success, you get your return back. But movie business actually works in a different way. Movie business works in satellite rights, music rights, lot many different in movie promotions, lot of
Mhm.
sponsorships. So usually for a movie business, if you talk about raising fund for only movie, then your approximate 60 to 70% of your money is already recovered if you have a right kind of team for marketing. So as a director, some people are looking for raising funds from, of course, from movie investors. Now, these movie investors, they're looking for very high return in maximum cases. Because if your movie becomes really, really hit and popular, then your money making process becomes really higher, right? But
That's
but there is a big but. If you are looking at raising fund for creating movie, people usually don't trust only investing in movie for so many different reasons. See, there are different kind of investors. If you're looking for investors only for your movie, then your approach should be different. Okay, 90% cases when people approach me to raise fund for their movie, they just ask me that, will you invest in movie? I say, okay, fine. Send me at least a detail of your movie, how you're going to do the marketing, how my money is recovered, how exactly I'm going to secure my investment. At least I'm looking for a good return. How will you give me the return? They don't really have the answer. That's the main issue. Okay, so it's not about me, it's
mhm.
about maximum number of cases. Investors, they usually skip this part of investing directly into one single movie. The solo reason is the kind of presentation that needs to be done is not actually done by some of those indie um, filmmakers. Okay, but when you are talking about making a
That's
movie from a very very structured production unit, then their process is really really cool. Like, they have a channel, they have a marketing channel, they have distribution channel, they have people who can communicate with the entire corporate industry. So when you are looking for creating a movie, you need to understand your entire movie can be supported by the corporate industry themselves. But maximum times we lack this point. So marketing is a big deal about raising fund for only making movie. Now let me touch upon a little bit about how to raise fund for a movie making company. Thank you, Adre, for joining from Brazil. Thanks. Yeah. Hi. Okay. So coming back to that answer, when we talk about a very, very, very specific raising fund for a movie making company, you need to understand as an investment body, we need to make sure your entire financial details is clear and we understand this. The same thing, like the same way, I get lot many requests from movie makers, content makers, who are running their own company for maybe 5 or 6 times. They have done their content, and probably they are 2 years old. Sometimes they are 5 years old. But when I ask them, okay, fine, please send me your financial details. I don't know why people fear to send me the financial details of their movie making company.
It was one of my questions, actually.
Yeah.
You know, for a media content company, actually, for every company wants to raise fund, do you think it's important, or the investor will be so curious about the depths, about the financial background, or how they can make it? What's the best method?
Oh, of course.
Yeah,
Like,
now you're explaining it.
thank you for the question, Gaz. So people need to understand no investor is investing money out of love. They are doing it because this is
Exactly.
one of their business and they want to make money as well along with the company. So if they can do it on their own,
Absolutely.
they would have done it on their own. Like, they have created the team, they have all the money, right? But they are doing it together with you so that you can grow and they can grow as well, right? Now, if you don't give them a comfort zone, like if you don't give them a comfort zone of your company's financial details, at least for last 3 years, maybe taxations, maybe the amount of business that you have done so far, which you are saying that you have done. So whatever you are saying, if that happens in real life, what's the fear? You should have shared that with a potential investor. I will give you a real life case. This is really, really, you know, a little bit of, you can say, disturbing for me. From my town, one of the content maker, they are mainly into YouTube content making business. Okay, they wanted to raise fund and they connected me and they said that please raise fund for us. I said, okay, fine. Please give me investment. I said, great, but send me your details. I don't know about your financials. No, these many number of users are there in YouTube. I said, great, that's fine. I understand, but how much money you are making? You're looking for a couple of $1 million. So I need to understand what is your money making process at the moment. I don't care about your million of users. Okay, million of users can be brought if you have the right kind of budget. It's not a big deal in social media. Okay, so I need to understand your financial details and how exactly you're going to give back the money that I'm investing. Or if it is not invested by my own pocket, if I'm raising fund from my investor pool, they also want to understand how you exactly you're going to give the return back, because I'm responsible for their money itself. And the reply was a little bit of, I don't know, awkward to me. It's like, okay, we are doing business, we are doing great. This is world's largest number of channels that we have. So we are not interested. I said, great, go on, carry on. So if you are not interested, why you're pinging and wasting my time? Okay. If you are world's greatest channel owner, then you are doing good. Like, you are then world's greatest. Great. So if you have a mindset of lot many number of such blockage in mind, it's really, really difficult to grow in market. So as far as my small understanding goes, whoever I have seen so far who have done things big, if I talk about Elon Musk, if I talk about Bill Gates, if I talk about Ratan Tata, if I talk about Ambani's, Bajaj, I'm giving normal example, right? These number of companies, the founders, they don't have any kind of ego. Okay, they really understand people whom they are talking to. They have the similar kind of mindset. They want to understand whether together you can do a good number of business or not. So raising money for a movie making company or a content making company is rather easy if you have a history of making content and you have probably made some amount of money, which may be not big, not small, it doesn't matter, but you have something to show. That means from the startup point of view, you have MVP ready. Your revenue streams are done. So from investors' perspective, they can bang on a media company rather than banging on only a movie making company. Okay, so these raising funds is much more easier if you kindly disclose your financial details, your marketing strategies, your team members, the way you are making the movie, your target customer. Then from investors point of view, they can of course easily say that, okay, fine, I'm totally cool to invest probably $10 million into your company by diluting X amount of equity. So there are companies who are looking for basically investing in the media market, but somehow these information gap is really, really challenging for anybody to take a right kind of decision. So I hope I answered your question, guys.
Of course, yes. Yeah, that's right. All right. Another question I have, it was very well explained. Thank you so much. Another question I have, with the development of technology and, everything is going to be done online. You know that. But due to the rising number of scams by individuals and companies on social media, all online, not only media content, how a company, a real company, how a company can attract your trust as an investor to invest in their company?
It's a beautiful question, Gaz. I mean, thank you so much for bringing this issue in front of me. And
yes,
it's a challenge, I'll tell you. Like if you're approaching an investor for the first time to raise fund,
yeah,
I mean, you need to understand you shouldn't be pushy. You shouldn't push that person that invest money
yes,
in the first time.
exactly.
First of all, you need to understand how to gain trust, because so many number of scams are happening worldwide, right? It's not about only connecting people in social media. I believe because you are my partner and you are a part of our accelerator, you have been approached by many people. I know that they are willing to raise fund. Same happens with me. Same happens with all the other members who are inside our accelerator and fund. See, the way it needs to be done is like having a conversation, probably online. If it is online, use a trusted network for the communication. Maybe use a very trusted channel of communication with a video chat, right? Not all of a sudden giving call in Facebook. Facebook is not a professional website to give a call for raising your fund, right? And neither I'm going to pick up that call in video mode, neither Gaz will pick up that call in video mode, because in today's world, deepfake is a very big challenge. So we don't encourage people to give us a call in at least social media. Rather, they can connect with us, wait for probably a schedule wherein we can communicate through either Zoom or Google Meetup or similar kind of Cisco network as a meeting, a professional meeting. So we want to understand your KYC details. So it's not about connecting in social media. It's an understanding of knowing your customer. That means, of course, if you have a bank account, then we would love to understand your bank details, in the sense, not your account details, but no, the country where you are in, if you are a trusted taxpayer or not, number one. Number two, do you have an office? If yes, what's the address? Your, of course, identity proof, and if possible, a reference of a trusted person. Okay, so we always cross check and verify someone before we commit anything, and we have our own methods of understanding a person and their background. We give a good number of money, we pay a good number of money to all those people who are actually doing cross-checking on behalf of our accelerator. So we make sure that we don't put our hard-earned money to cross-verify a person whom we don't even trust. Example, in your social media, you don't have your own picture. Rather, it's a picture of a flower or a dog or a cat or an animal. We can't trust you. Okay? We don't know whether you are a human being or not. Example, in your DP, you have a celebrity's picture. If you are a fan of that movie star, with due respect, with kudos, like that's great, but we want to understand whether you are that movie star or you are the real person. So we don't encourage those kind of communication. So the best practice is not to hide your details in social media. Sending requests from a locked profile to us, I am not going to accept any kind of locked profile request, because if you are locked to your profile, that means you don't need anyone else to connect or communicate into your social media. So why shall I accept your communication details? LinkedIn is one of the best process to communicate for professional communication, but in there also I can see many people who are not real person. They create a fake account, and we can cross verify that very, very easily. I really don't want to disclose how we cross verify it. Of course, you can understand person like with our kind of communication and status and strength, we verify it from the source itself. So I humbly request that when you are communicating people like us, like Gaz or me, or anyone related to us, or maybe related to fund management, it is better to tell the truth. That, okay, fine, I have a startup, I'm not making money, I am probably doing a little bit of cool work, which is, I'm totally happy with that, but I want to grow. I don't have any clue where to go, how to go, and I want to probably raise fund, and this is my present situation. We'll be more than happy to help you and tell you that, okay, fine, if this is not your right time for your raise fund, maybe you can do this 1 2 3 4 5, and if required, would be more than happy to connect you with some like-minded people who can help you as well. So to direct answer your question, of course, we have a mechanism of checking those kind of scams in social media. And if people have the right kind of mindset, not only probably raising fund only, but maybe doing some good business with us, let's be honest with each other and we can understand it. And probably, Gaz, if you remember, last time we had a chat with one of the person based out of USA, you and me. We chatted with that gentleman and I asked him the very simple question. If you really want to invest money, then why you can't disclose your details into your own website about the kind of companies that you have invested so far so good? I don't need a name, but at least the kind of projects that you are investing. And
some transaction.
Yes.
Yeah, the transaction, yeah.
So in these cases, people who are really experienced, they catch these kind of people that this is not a solid, proper structure. So they usually try to grab those kind of companies who can actually give right kind of deal. And we know a lot of these kind of people who are doing right kind of deal, and they disclose very little information in their website, which is completely understandable. And we respect that. The reason is you can't disclose your total deals into your website. We understand it. But at least if you disclose it sector-wise, like, okay, fine, we want to invest in probably technology domain. We want to invest in maybe oil and gas. We want to invest in energy or maybe in food. Then from the startup perspective, they get a little bit of comfort zone as well. So that's how I think you can cross-verify and understand anyone. And in today's world, to be very honest, it is really, really easy to verify a person utilizing the search engines. I will request everyone to use the search engine methods to understand and verify someone and their background and understand how he or she is working. Yeah, hope that answered your question.
That's right. That's right. Very, very well.
I want to ask you one question. When you are being approached by someone, like they want you to work in their project as a freelancer, when you work sometimes as a media personality, work as a brand model sometimes, as a brand ambassador sometimes.
Correct.
You always cross-verify that company. I know that. Okay. You always cross-check that person. So what is your gut feelings? What is your gut feelings when you cross-check someone who really wanted to work with you on a professional level? How do you filter that person?
All right. To give you an example of some photographers and directors, because in this fashion industry, in my DM, although my Instagram is private, but in my DM, I receive daily, suggestions from photographers that, hi guys, we are going to shoot you. We have this, that, and blah, blah, blah. Most of them, the first thing I will do, I will check the profile, the Instagram profile. Okay. some are private, some is public. But one thing which is really important for me, which I noticed recently, some photographers, they say we are photographers, but there is no brand of there is no brand of them. For example, it's a nature picture. You know, when photographers, for example, they have um, something photography, for example, ABC photography, they will mention their brand, ABC studio, ABC photography, Mr. blah blah blah. But some of them, there is no brand, and I'm like, and some photographers, when they shoot a model, they would tag the model. This is the model. We capture a photo of her, and then of course you can, you know, through the model you can go and you can check if the photographer is real or no. But some of them, that's why I asked you a question about scammers. Some of them, there is no brand of photographer on their own photo, and there is no mention of the model. Yeah, a beautiful model from India, like it's long distance, online photo shoot, and no brand, no tag. And why you want to shoot me? Or, you know, they will give me very high price of like $5K or $8K. You are so your privacy is guaranteed. Everything is fine. We will pay you monthly income. Okay, fine, I can make it. And then what's the theme? How can you make it? And look, the person who already suggested me and who already guaranteed, you know, my privacy, his own profile picture, I see the girls, but there is no brand of him, with only a few followers, only maybe 30 or 40. And then he is claimed that I'm a big shot in Asia, in whole Asia. Okay, you are a big shot in whole Asia, but I never see any celebrity you capture photos. Then how can you ask me to do that? Oh yeah, you can travel to Singapore, you can make it, you know, I myself, I never fall for the money they are gonna pay me for the payment. What is really important for me is how can I trust you? And as you mentioned, it's so easy to verify, to understand if the person is real, if the company is real, or no. It's so easy. It's the world of technology. Okay, you can Google about that studio, about the photographer or the director, you know. And then for me, I'm like, no thanks. And I also block, because you know, these kind of people, they also can have your picture and they can post on their own page and claim like they photo shoot you. That's why I easily say no. Like just recently, some of them, they told me about, yeah, I got a project from Victoria's Secret, Asia, in Asia. I was like, okay, this Victoria's Secret, they need you. I was like, wow, how they need me. While my profile is not is private, how Victoria's Secret knows about me, and I'm not a professional model. And then yeah, we want to do that, we want to do this. Okay, and then I asked them, okay, please come on Zoom. I need to talk to you on Zoom. You know what? Zoom is not available in my region. Sorry? What do you mean? Can we exchange WhatsApp number? I said, no, I'm not interested in WhatsApp number. Wait, I have to exchange my WhatsApp number to you. Okay, can I call you on Instagram? I said, Instagram is not for calling. Exactly what you mentioned, I experienced the same. And I don't know why people, I think they talk, you know, they're so backward. Someone, not everyone, they're so backward. They think, you know, with the old method of scamming, you still can do the same.
Yeah, you need to understand one
why?
thing.
Because
You need to understand one thing.
yeah.
Like people who are not very smart scammer, that number and that percentage is higher. People who are smart scammers, they have a different kind of method. I will tell you as
Yeah.
a warning to all the user. I'm just sharing one, you can say, very easy and silly method which is happening nowadays in Facebook. In Facebook, if you're a
Yes,
man,
please.
you will get a request from some lady, a good-looking lady with a locked profile, and they will send you a friend request. Once you accept, they will start chatting with you, and then they will say that, okay, fine, let's have a video call with each other. So usually as a men, they don't understand why these video calling is actually requested. Once you accept that call, they will record your video and they will actually in the back end, they will run it as a, you know, a lady will actually talk to you, and that lady is not a real lady. That's a video that's running in the background. So some lady somehow probably has been victim of these scammers, who will record these ladies' videos, and then after that they will run it in front of your screen. You feel that that's a real lady, and you start interacting with them, and sometimes they ask for a very odd, awkward kind of situations. Okay, I can open up myself, like they will ask for a video sex or something like that. And once you start doing that, they will record all your video, and then they will start asking money from you. These kind of cases are increasing day in and day out. So as a warning, as a technologist, from a very humble request to all the users, if you are a man, be careful. These things are happening in various parts of the world, and these scammers, they will ruin your entire life by doing all such kind of activities. It is easy to cross-check with these kind of people. Once you check their profile, you will see that they're born in such and such year. After that, you will see that their portfolio pictures are being changed in 2 to 3 times. There is no other post. That means that's a fake profile. Don't accept such kind of profile. Number one. Number two, never ever accept request from a locked profile. As a professional, you need to understand, if you have locked your profile, that means you don't need any more requests in your profile. So why shall I, or why shall Gaz will accept, or you will accept a request from a locked profile, right? So if you have a locked profile, because of security, you locked your profile, then send a message to the person, explain who you are with your details, and very sweetly tell them why you need to connect into their Facebook account, even though if you have a locked profile. I understand probably sometimes real people are looking for connecting with others with a locked profile, but they need to understand it is really not funny to get a request from a locked profile. So that answers, I think, the first question regarding funding, but the second question regarding locked profile, and the third question regarding the scamming. So I guess we have a lot more discussions to do, guys. So I will request you to ask me if you have any more questions.
Absolutely. Just one more question. We will make it quickly. For a content media company, do you think the content matters, or do you think the CEO or the business owner of this company must be so creative in content, must do something very special in its own services, or no?
Well, I can give this answer in 3 different ways. Number one, you need to understand, if you're into the media content business, from the investor's perspective, they want to understand how you're going to do the business. So if you are not creative enough, but you are willing to raise funds to get more and more creative people in your team, but if you're great in doing business, people are interested to invest money into your company, because you are getting the investment to hire more talents who can create creative works. Second part of it,
exactly,
you are creative, you are not a business guy, you don't understand how to do business, but you are great in your content making. I can go on with live example. I'm not taking a name. There's a lady who does great shows in Netflix. She wanted to raise funds, and then she's looking for money, raising funds, because she's good at what she is doing, and she's really good at that. But what we have found, there is a big lack of understanding of the business part of it. So if, as a creative person, you don't have a business person in your team, it is better to get someone, hire someone to make others understand how you're gonna do the business with the media company that you run. So if you're a creative person, you don't understand business, cool, great. Get a guy on board who understands business, and then ask for money to an investor. Or if you feel that you are really tiny, you really don't have the money to hire someone who is business minded enough, ask for help to the accelerators like us. Tell us that you don't have the business knowledge, you need help to do business on behalf of you. You are a creative person. We'll be more than happy to assist you. Probably we can take you in our cohorts to do business on your behalf. We can do these things together. Coming back to the third kind of answer, which is like, You only have the content. You don't have any kind of team. That's what you have asked me. Like you are a
Yes, that's
solo
right.
creator. You don't have a team.
Yeah,
If
yeah,
your
yeah.
contents are really great, you are not a social media star only, but your contents are
Mhm.
great. That means, with due respect to all those kind of influencers, like there are various different kind of influencer. One is a knowledge based influencer. So if your channel is like with knowledge and that can be replicated and can be uplifted, can be monetized, and probably investors can get a direct return of their money, why not? Yes, of course, that is possible. Now there is another part of it. Your social media channel as an influencer probably happening because you are doing some kind of content which is mainly specific to a specific kind of industry, which is not connected with real life products, which is like, for an example, a company who is producing probably spices are not going to invest money if you're a social media star and your content is related to probably only dances. Okay, so your target audience, your consumers, your audience, your viewers are different. They want to see your dance. They don't want to buy spices. But if you can combine a method to promote those spices utilizing your social media with the dance, then why not? Those things can be
Mhm.
monetized. So these are the very simple few tips which probably you can do. See, guys, I really don't want to say, for an example, my social media channels. If you look at me, I'm more of a LinkedIn person rather than any other social media. LinkedIn is more professional. Uh, Verification is
Absolutely.
possible.
Absolutely.
So I have got a paid account, of
Ex-
course. I can understand who is connecting with me and for what purpose, and people are really specific on that. For my Facebook account, I only
yeah.
accept people whom I know in person. In Instagram, of course, I
Same.
usually accept the same, like the people whom I know. So I usually accept that. So that's how I am, because I am from the corporate field and I'm from the entrepreneurial background. If I look at you, your structure is completely similar with me. Like you are into the business world, you are doing a few things just as a hobby. Sometimes you do modeling as a part-time income. But if I look at others, like if you are probably a professional, they'll the best possible way to become more and more communication oriented if you have a social media account. So just sticking to only a social media account is probably not the solution. Maybe communicating through various different medias would be much more appreciable. And if you look at today's live,
Absolutely.
if you are watching today's live, I know this is about 30 minutes live that we are together doing, and the reason we are doing it in Instagram, there is a purpose of it. The purpose is pretty simple. In Instagram, we usually see youth who comes and they want to probably spend time in Instagram for so many reasons. So the kind of live that we do is mainly on information basis. We encourage the young generation to come forward and then apply to our accelerator so that we can grow their companies. Of course, we have fund access. Of course, we have got our own kind of network. Of course, we have government connections. Of course, we do a lot many works in various different part of the world. In fact, Gaz, we are doing an investor
Yeah.
roundtable in Dubai on 10th of March with another partner of ours.
Yeah.
So those kind of activities are actually happening in a real life basis. So it's better to be in different kind of social media, and I'll be more than happy and welcome all the others who really want a professional kind of approach and a communication with Gaz. She is the one who is taking care of all our communication process and filtering up startups in the initial basis, and then we can filter it out with a joint call with each other. So I trust her in a complete different level altogether for all of you guys. So you're more than welcome to connect her in her LinkedIn, probably not her Facebook and Instagram. Okay, that's our private space,
Yeah.
and I completely respect a co-worker with us about her private space in between a professional communication. So if you really want to connect with Gaz, please feel free to connect her in either her email ID or her LinkedIn. Request for a meeting. We will do it together. That's not a big problem.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Thank you so much, Arjit. And for the next live on Instagram, please share your experience for today's. You had some meeting with an industry. It was you just mentioned something about homemade products, something like that. Then next session we are going to talk about it. Thank you so much, guys, for being with us. Thank you so much, Arjit. Thanks for joining us. I will see you again this week. Okay.
Bye. Thank you.
Take a very good care of yourself and good night. Bye, everyone.
Bye,
Bye,
Nilanjan.
Arjit.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.